Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube. This is ExperiencePoints, and we are back doing the last mission on the Central Branch campaign for Black Turn Operation Barbarossa, as we do the Kiev Encirclement, which is a absolutely fun mission because you have overwhelming numbers and can really make use of suppression by removing their supplies. So this is really quite a fun mission, and there is quite a nice little element to it where you can even really cut down their supplies quite early on without having to use the bulk of your forces. So let's get to it, as we do from the restart. And we're just going to have that quick overview and to see what's going on here. So, for as far as supply, you are supplied on the road in the north and the south. Over here, you might have to be a little bit cautious of the enemy taking this hexagon here with your supply and cutting off these troops here. So that's probably the only thing to note there in the south. Over here, this is kind of useless because of the swampy terrain. So these units here aren't actually going to engage up here. I'm going to push them down here. As far as objectives, it's 2, and I like the fact that this one's just called Link Up. It's like, yay, it's not actually the name of a town, it's just connect with the other forces and seal the fate of Kiev. I think Kiev's also the name of a food. It's like a chicken that's covers over like a garlic sauce center. Yeah, it's like a roll sort of treat. So there we go. So yeah, just get to it. Over here, use your Pioneer Special Step to de-entrench this fella, and then you want to make your way up here. You are going to get a lot of reinforcements in the second turn as well, so the further you can push in, the more you're going to be able to advance your reinforcements to the objective, so you'll be able to like reinforce them, say, on this point instead of further up. So also, if you want to take, say, this unit over here and cross him up here, that's fine. Over here, I'm just trying to... So I'll just stop this for a second. Over here, now, he won't cross because I'll be able to destroy him, but again, this is your central supply point for all these parts down here. I am trying to make headway so I can cross in the next turn. Over here, for example, I might want to cross here because there's the Dampier. Where is it? I don't know, that unit's in the way, so I can't read the rest of it. Over here, basically, I want to completely encircle this objective here, and I'm going to reorganize some of these troops to reinforce here. But what we're going to do is take all these units here, and we're going to feed them down into here, because we're going to reorganize these troops. And it's great that the Tarfun mission is finally done. So now we can reorganize 5 troops, and we're going to really hit this unit, and we're going to cut off their supply for here, and we're just going to starve them out a lot sooner than the objective requires. So over here, you saw I attack this unit. Now these army units aren't that strong, but what we want to do is really cut off them, cut off these units. So we want to come in like a pincer movement from here, and we want to try to pincer movement in here. We won't be able to completely cut them off in the first turn, but when our reinforcements come through, we're going to be able to really hurt them. If you get an overrun, I would suggest you don't use it with your armor, because your armor will be significantly weakened, and you can't afford it. You eventually will have to connect up this road, but for now we can attempt to weaken up and perhaps hit with our stronger units. But as you see, this is 3-3 instead of a 4-3. But we're not going to make much headway. Okay, so they're going to do a lot of again, reform the lines, retreat back, and that's really simple to deal with here. We have some nice strong units at the front. Push forward. Over here, we can just cross a river. So hopefully next turn we'll make full advantage of our advancement here. As you see, he removed his entrenchment, which is fantastic for us because he takes out that I think it's a +1 point defense bonus. So that was really nice. We sort of baited him with a weak 4 unit, and he took it. So now we're going to start to really hammer on this guy. If you wanted to, you could probably reorganize the special step and actually stick it into one of the units over here, and even pack more punch against this trooper. which probably would be a relatively decent idea. So over here we see that we've got some infantry units up, and now we're just attacking with one unit, pulling it back. But I was lucky I was able to destroy that, otherwise I wouldn't have been able to move my army unit up. My goal here is just to advance up as hard as I can. Well, that was a little bit costly, but as you see, I can now reinforce across the river. And I can make full use of these hexagons here, which is quite nice, and really push our armor up. So we're going to make significant advancements towards the link up objective, which is quite nice. If I would like to point out, if you wanted to, you could actually try to have crossed him in this first turn, and then have him cut off the supply point here, and then move up here, which is another valid strategy, because once you take this point here with your armor units, say from across this side of the river, you'll cut off the supply quite effectively. But otherwise, it doesn't really matter that much. So over here, we're just making our way through, really cut off their supply, get that pincer movement happening, and making our way inland. We get some really nice units here, like the SS motorized. The SS were quite evil people, but the unit in this game is quite powerful. So it's yes, got you a sidetrack there, but the German Panzer, though, are certainly my go-to with the incredible strength, and it's quite interesting in this game. You only have 4 unit parts on your Panzer units, but they're strong enough to overcome anything that really is thrown at you. So there's no point in having to like reorganize a unit then reinforce one. So as you see over here, we're going to start to really lay it in, and we want to bring down this unit because that was a very nice 3 suppression there. We're going to cut off supply for the objective, because these guys are really entrenched with their special steps. So the goal here, and unfortunately I couldn't capitalize, I got so close but just couldn't kill him, so I'm going to reinforce these really strong units for the next turn just to be able to wipe him out. Okay, so over here we cross over the river. As you see, these units are going to sort of come up here. We'll feel out what's best for them. If they cross the river, I'm going to have to respond to that. But, oh, there we go. I actually had a unit that I could use to destroy it, and we can move this guy in. So how do you like that? Turn 2, we cut them off. They won't leave here because their defense bonus is too high. So it is important to note, look at that. How awesome. The river, we cut them off here, so it means that their supply lines are severely limited. And over here, the river and the forest working out advantage. So these guys are 3 turns away from being completely suppressed. And if we note, we have to get it in turn 7, and we can get it in turn 5. So, how's that? It's pretty much now guaranteed. 2 turns above brilliant victory. Up here, they will mount their counterattack, but your armor is so capable of counterattacking their counteroffensive. Or you should say, counterattacking. As they counterattack your offensive, you can counterattack their counteroffensive and come up on top there. So really, these forces over here are cut off. Reorganizing my troops here. This is just a waiting game. I'm not going to do anything else here. I'm not going to weaken up these units. There's no point attempting to attack the city. They're too strong. Just going to let it happen. This is quite nice. First priority, re-establish the defensive perimeter. Your supply line by getting that spearhead up. And if we can just establish a bit of a perimeter, that'd be nice. But I'm not going to really go out of my way to push them back to the river. I'm just going to keep that supply line going, and we're going to aggressively attack inland. So there we go. We've got our supply quite nice there. So that column, I moved this unit, which was no, not a mistake. I have something else to reinforce it there. Now that probably was a mistake doing that actually, because now they're going to cut this off. Over here, I can take the objective pretty quickly. I have the units to certainly really push up. Now, I probably should have gone here, then attacked him, and I could have got it in the next turn. But again, turn 5, I'm not looking to take it in turn 3. As you see, this unit had an overrun, but was quite weakened, so I'm not sure what his fate's going to be, but we can at least try to take off some pressure by really attacking forward. Okay, unfortunately in the south, there's not too much we can do to clear out some of these guys, though we are going to remove his entrenchment for sure, and then see if we can't beat him. Didn't do too much there, but we took that, which is quite nice. If you were keen, again, you could have crossed this guy in turn 1 over here, and then just gone straight up here and straight up here, which perhaps would have been a better strategy. Okay, over here, we're just starting to make our way. Inland, I'm not too scared about throwing infantry in and losing them. They can't really resupply over here at all, so again, I'm not overly worried. And if I hold the bridges here, I can really stick it to them and stop them from coming across. So perhaps moving him across wasn't the best idea, because these guys will come down and cut off these units. But again, more reinforcements, so I'm reinforcing where I can, so we can really drive this in when the time comes. Though I'm sure if you wanted to, you could have reinforced, say, this German motorized unit over here. Or if these weren't out of supply, these are units as well. As you see, the entire western front there, or western side of this campaign, is out of supply, and now they're really starting to feel it. So it's quite good to see. But yeah, as you see there, I made that mistake, and this unit's now out of supply. But these units are keeping a presence there. They want to be a bit of a threat, but again, no issue there. And this guy's just going to be knocked over. Okay, just giving it any threats. I don't think they'll cross the river, but we want to make sure. Quite nice. So maybe actually removing on the second turn these specialist steps once you've really got your armor column up. There we go, turn 4, captured the objective, and putting him over here would give you more punch. And maybe you could start hitting this one early without fear of having a unit annihilated, as engineers are really good at increasing that damage there. So as you see, now it's a little bit of a cleanup, and just establishing a solid line down here to stop the units from breaking through and re-establishing the supply line. The armor doesn't really need to push through to make it. I could have pushed everything up this way, which perhaps would have been a more efficient strategy to have actually done. Then I could have definitely held all this. I could have held the line, destroyed these units, and then pushed up this way. Because the units being resupplied are as good as being attacked anyway, or held off. So there we go. Fortunately, I don't think I'll be able to reinforce this unit. In the north, just keeping our supplies nice and tidy there. Using our infantry instead of our armor to try to get rid of some of these weaker units. Here we go, bringing our armor down and causing significant damage. Okay. And they might be able to link up in the next turn, but again, they won't be able to reinforce these, because before you take your movement is when you get reinforced. At the very, very start of your turn is when your units get supplied. So it's okay if they have that issue there. I did leave a gap over here, but I don't believe they'll be able to do too much to capitalize on that one. And now I am trying to link up my forces over here. I can do it without any significant penalties, so I'm going to do that. Okay. So as you see, pretty well supplied. No real issue there. And just going to reorganize some of these other units. Get ready. Next turn, these guys completely suppress. As you see, turn 4. Quite lovely there. It's really suffered these units, so this is a pushover. Yeah, and that was going to be expected. But again, they couldn't really capitalize. I do believe, just want to double check that, no swampy terrain, but yeah, so I'm surprised he couldn't move out. Over here we got this supply points. Unfortunately here we've been out of supply, and I will put a unit on here or defend this so that they can't take it. So I wouldn't want to lose that early. Doing that guarantees that their units are out of supply from this north supply point. And now this is just for me, a bit of fun, cleaning up the map, having total victory. I like to see all the red hexagons, Soviet zone of control removed. It's like, keep it clean. Keep it clean was actually that, if you remember the Halo ODST game, we had the computer AI or the city AI helping you as a soldier. I thought that was going to be an absolute brilliant game, and it probably was the most enjoyable game in the Halo series I actually played. But I found the AI wasn't actually going to be as helpful as I thought it was. I thought the story was quite clever, but it would have been nice if the AI was like more active. Perhaps if like they had automated garbage control systems or something, it could have offered you distraction and shielding for some levels and that sort of thing. That would have been a lot more enjoyable if the AI was more intensive in that way. But overall, it was a very enjoyable game. So yeah, keep it clean. Where they it's funny how memories work like that. So we've just really felt felt that there's no Soviet presence over the river here. So now we're just going to go for it and go for the objective. Now, I could definitely get this turn 5. I don't think there's a doubt with if I did this right with the army units. But I do believe I just wanted to completely remove Soviet presence from Kiev. So 1 turn, 2 turn. Awesome sauce. And now 1 attack. I completely confined a confined unit. So there we go, turn 5, 2 turns early. That's how it's done. It was quite nice. So just to do a very quick summary. Again, use your units here to attack across the river, especially to remove entrenchment with this specialist step. By your specialist step, come up here, and then your armor units after that are going to be able to move up in advance, so you'll be able to move the infantry which are here. I would suggest if you could attack this unit and kill him, then that also would be beneficial to get these German Jungler units, which have that extra, they have a 4-1 movement as opposed to a 3-1, to try to attack these objectives up here, which is a strategy I didn't do, but one I would suggest. And then just trying to make your way across the river with some of these units while keeping this unit here. Or you can move him up. I mean, this does supply down here, so take note of that. Over here, just move your units up, really put a stronghold on the city. If you move this guy down here, he'll de-entrench to attack it because he can. He gets a free hit. Then bring these units down here. Don't worry about taking them up here, it's a waste of time and it's a nightmare to supply them. Come down here, attack here. You'll get this in the second turn if you hit it with everything you have, and you'll be able to starve these guys out by turn 5. Bring your armor down here and your infantry down here. You want to create a pincer movement, then reinforcements, and then just bring them all this way. I went this way, but it's not really, there's no point in doing that. Bring them down here, try to make a complete line, cut them off. If you can bring these units here and hold the river points, even better, because you'll stop the bulk of this force coming up, while also keeping your lines here defended. So you want to keep some motorized, especially the SS motorized up here, keeping your supply, your column of attack with your units quite secure, so you don't lose that supply. And yeah, just feel it out, feel what tactics best work, and go from there. But really, once you've got your armor coming up from this southern objective, this objective is yours. Once you've cut them off here, using overwhelming infantry numbers by turn 2, then you got this. So really, easy peasy. Quite a fun mission. Yes. So this has been ExperiencePoints. Hope you gained some experience from watching this, and happy hunting for your own brilliant victories. Have a good one.